So we're going to stop here for two reasons. So firstly, I wanted to point out where UCL is going to be. So UCL will be in two spaces. The first one that's opening is going to be just over the river. That's the first space that UCL will occupy in 2021. And then in 2022, we're opening the kind of bigger site, which is just down here. UCL has a piece of funding from the Engineering and Physical Sciences Research Council, and we've been lucky enough to get some of that funding to do knowledge exchange activities and impact generation activities with communities, specifically around our future space in East London. The place that we're building our new campus on the Olympic Park is surrounded by lots of different cultural artistic communities that we now are going to be neighbours with. So we're trying to think about ways to work with them in a way which is not just about commissioning art or getting people to respond to our research, but actually around knowledge exchange between our researchers and our academics and those artists. So it's about bringing people together to see what they can do greater than just individuals.
I've found in the past that sometimes even quite brief conversations with people who are working in very different domains can spark ideas which can lead to something really big.
So what we really want from this day is for you guys to all meet each other and figure out what you might have in common, what connections you might have, and hopefully that could lead to relationships going forward into next year, and then some of you will get commissions next year for artworks to be displayed next October.
Well, there were two things we were thinking about. One, how we secured and identified the artists, which was a collaborative initiative with myself and Rosie Murdoch, who is a really highly experienced curator producer who's rooted absolutely in Newham. We identified a range of artists that we felt would be really interesting to be in this dialogue. The researchers, we actually did a call to invite people who would be interested in finding out more about how to work with artists.
This area has gone through years and years of flux, and with UCL coming to East London, it really offers an opportunity to broaden the influences and stimuli that come into the area. So this project Trellis represents the chance to actually physically make those introductions. Now, artists are really interested in hearing from researchers, and often it is just that moment of where do they meet them, where do they find that point to talk. So in a slightly artificial way, we're creating almost a dinner party environment, and by doing it in this way where we're matchmaking them and making them do things like speed dating and walking around the area, looking at the spaces involved with where UCL are moving to. And it really is allowing those artists and researchers the time and breathing space to talk about those areas of interest.
Here we go. Hi. I'm going to have to take your name down. What is it? Michael Sulu. Great. I'm Manny Patrol, yeah. I'm a visual artist and I've worked a lot with scientists in the past and done residencies. So the work is kind of in a way about making things which are invisible visible, whether that's some kind of theoretical idea, not illustrating it but just responding to it, and I suppose in a way I'm kind of interested in kind of poetry and science, I suppose.
It was just an organic process. I got the chance to speak with everyone in a very informal way throughout the walk and even when grabbing coffee, and just to get to know them as people who live and work here. I think the event did a great job of just getting us in the same room, basically.
One of the very important things about Trellis is that it's about co-creation. It's about the researcher and the academic finding a thread or a direction that they want to go in and support one another, rather than an artist perhaps illustrating an academic's research, but really co-creating and co-writing a way of thinking about the research and how it relates to the artist's practice.
So I really enjoy that process of exchange, the things you learn actually. So collaboration is really central to a lot of what I do. So Trellis in some ways was a perfect fit if I can find the perfect partner.
It's been a real surprise. I really loved being able to walk around the development area around here, being told what the community is going to look like, and also the fact that this area is an area that has gone through a lot of change, and thinking about how we can be involved in that was really useful as well. The artists are fantastic. It's such a mix, so different to my everyday, so I have to say it's been really enjoyable.
we aim to be a good neighbour to our local communities and also to be an institution which is publicly engaged. What we really want to do is become part of the local area. We don't want to kind of land in the park with a big building with loads of students and staff. We want to feel like we are part of the neighbourhood. So the more connections we can make in advance of the new building opening, then the better.